Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Today from Houston, the Tigers' second leg of the road trip comes to a close. Fans are filing into the ballpark. They're lined up to watch the Tigers and Houston Astros. Game 3 of the series from Minute Maid Park. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here for the third and final game of the series. Nice win last night for the Tigers, Ron. Really an opportunity today to get a series win on the road. That hasn't happened in quite a while.
And they desperately need that because the next place that they go to is Chicago, and Chicago's playing some outstanding baseball. The Tigers looking to win 2 in a row since they did it in July against the Tampa Bay Rays. So well-deserved win last night in a very hostile environment. They need to come out and play another clean game, though.
All right, it'll be up to Matt Boyd today, who makes another start for the Tigers. His third in a Tigers uniform. The first 2 have been pretty good.
Well, he said one of the things that he needs to concentrate on is repeating his delivery. And in his last start, you may remember he went up against Johnny Cueto. It was Cueto's first start for his new team, the Kansas City Royals. Boyd gave up a few runs early, and that was all that Cueto needed. Boyd really settled down. He lasted 7 innings in that contest, but obviously took the loss. He's got a nice fastball. He hides the ball well. He cuts the fastball. He's got a plus changeup. As a matter of fact, Jeff Jones told me of a lot of the left-handers he's seen the last number of years for a left-hander changeup, Boyd is right up there.
All right, how about Jose Altuve? He'll need to stop Altuve today. This guy plays much larger than the 5'6" he is listed at.
This guy can just rake, man. I mean, this guy hits the ball to right field. He hits the ball to left field. He hits balls up in the strike zone. He hits balls down in the strike zone. He hits breaking balls. He gets infield hits. Well, you get it. I mean, 702 hits since the beginning of the 2012 season, and nobody else in the major leagues can boast that. He's a nice player to watch. Not only does he hit, but he runs the bases. He also defends. He steals bags, and he's a leader on this team for the Houston Astros. Real nice player to watch.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Johnny Kane standing by. The final game of the series coming up. And, of course, the Tigers trying to get a road win here today and get a road win series. Hadn't done that away from Comerica Park since early July when they won in Seattle. Let's change that today. Final game coming up. These are expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Dodge, find your summer of performance with great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance Events. And by Spartan Stores. For locations, visit turntospartan.com.
It comes down to it. The game doesn't change. You just got to locate down. With them having a few more home runs, they probably hit those mistakes just a little bit farther, and that's just what it comes down to. So, you execute pitches, good things are going to happen.
You're a fly ball pitcher, though. Is there some concern about that here in this ballpark?
I mean, not necessarily. It's when I'm going good, my fly balls are pop-ups to the outfield and the infield, and if they're hitting them to the fence and over it, then it's more than likely I'm not doing my job. I'm not executing like I want to. So on that sense, yeah, not really.
As you're finding your way through your major league beginnings here and now with a new team, what kinds of things did you work on from your last start to the one here in Houston?
A big thing for me is just repeating and going out there, competing every single pitch, but going out there and repeating my delivery and staying the same. And just kind of riding that even keel. And if I can repeat my delivery for 110 pitches, then chances are things are going to work out. So for me, that's a big thing, and kind of building off that last start and building off the one before that. Just repeating, and that's what all the great pitchers did.
Actually, Boyd is catching the Houston Astros at the right time. They have lost 8 of their last 11 games. Their team batting average hovering right around 200, and they're doing worse than that with runners in scoring position. So this might be an afternoon where Boyd can go out there and get himself a win.
Hopefully that'll be the case. Here is the starting lineup for the Tigers this afternoon, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Brad Ausmus has them lined up like this today. It'll be Ian Kinsler starting at second base and leading off. Iglesias at short. Cabrera back at first this afternoon. Victor DHing. J.D. Martinez in right. Collins in left. Marte getting a start. Good numbers on the road. He's at third. Avila and Ghost rounded out for the Tigers. And Detroit today facing the right-hander Mike Fiers.
Fiers is not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see he racks up a lot of strikeouts, 131. That's because he has a huge spin rate. That's a WAR stat that the Houston Astros really pay a lot of attention to. I thought it was in regards to a breaking ball, but they actually dictate the spin rate on his fastball. It's 89, but it looks 95. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Houston Astros this afternoon. It is always brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons Marisnik. Getting a start in the outfield today along with Gomez and Rasmus. Gonzalez, Correa, Altuve, Carter in the infield, and Hank Conger is behind the dish. And boy, has he struggled trying to throw out base runners this year. He's only caught 1 of 27.
Not good. Well, the Tigers, with their win last night, gained a game on the Angels for the final wild card spot. Tigers now 4 back. Tampa, Minnesota, Texas, Baltimore all ahead of them. So we'll see if the Tigers can make more headway today. A.J. Hinch was tossed out of the ball game last night after arguing a replay call. And he is back behind the screen today and on the bench for the Houston Astros. So we're ready for baseball. Here is Kinsler stepping in, and today's ball game is underway. It's 1 ball to no strikes on Ian.
And Tigers saw Boyd earlier this year when he was wearing the Milwaukee Brewers uniform. He lasted 5 2/3 innings, gave up just a couple of runs, and he got a win against Detroit at Comerica Park.
Fiers wearing Houston colors these days. Came over in the trade deadline deal along with Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, straight over the top delivery. We told you the fastball hovers right around 87 to 92. He's got a split changeup that really does not tumble a lot. It's more of a straight change, but he holds it with his fingers split.
Kinsler skies this one in the air, third base side, and is Marwin Gonzalez for the out, 1 gone.
That is exactly what Fiers did against Detroit when he pitched against them earlier this year. Lots of fastballs up, and it looks really good. But the velocity is only 90 miles an hour. It's hard to get up to that pitch up in the strike zone.
So with 1 away, that'll bring up Jose Iglesias, who has hit safely in his last 3. 5 hits on the road trip for Iglesias, batting second again here today for the Tigers.
He loves the first pitch. Iglesias hitting about 390 on first pitches this year.
He looks at strike 1. 306 overall for Iglesias. A couple of home runs. Fouled straight back, and the count quickly 0-2. Tigers a nice win last night after giving up the lead in the 9th inning on the home run by Tucker. They went extras to finally get the victory.
Tucker killed that ball. Oh. It was a 100-mile-per-hour fastball thrown by Rondon. It left Tucker's bat at 108 miles an hour.
Here's the 0-2 from Fires. Way high, as Iglesias wasn't going to chase that. Fires went 5 2/3 back on May 18th as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers gave up a couple of runs to the Tigers. And we get back into the seats.
Tigers are going to have to lay off that fastball. Already Fires has gone to the top of the strike zone on a couple of pitches to Kinsler, got him to pop up. He's gone up there on 3 consecutive pitches to Iglesias as well.
Cabrera waiting on deck. Now Fires ready with the 1-2 pitch. And Iglesias down he goes. Hit by the pitch. Jose got it on the elbow, and he'll take first base.
Not only did it get Iglesias, but it got Conger too.
Conger seems to be in more pain than Iglesias. So that'll put the first runner aboard in this game. Conger in some pain right now.
I don't even know if that ball hit Iglesias, to be honest with you. We'll see, though.
Well, Iglesias' reaction seemed to indicate you might be right. Let's see.
It looked like it hit Iglesias' back. So he's going to have to come back.
Yep.
And that's going to be a strike.
A.J. Hinch immediately jumped on that. And they're going to take a look at this. Looked like it clearly hit the bat. We do know for a fact it hit Conger. And they'll check it out here. This shouldn't take too long. So one batter into this game, we get a challenge. The initial response by Iglesias, he hit the deck, but it looked like it hit the bat. Yeah, Jose was just trying to get out of the way.
It's funny how they're showing this replay up on the a scoreboard today where they didn't show the one yesterday. Tucker tried to steal that base hit away from me and Kinsler.
I think Iglesias knows down at first base that he's probably going to have to come back, but you never know. It's taken him a while to figure this out.
Iglesias almost looked stunned when Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire, told him he'd been hit and go to first base.
Well, it's kind of surprising it is taking this long to look at these replays to figure it out. An immediate challenge here by A.J. Hinch. Of course, he was thrown out after arguing a call that was reversed.
Now watch Iglesias. He gets up and he's like surprised. He's getting ready to hit. And he said, "Okay, I'll go to first if you want me to."
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think Iglesias knew that ball hit the bat. Well, they are still looking at this.
Well, if they're taking that long to look at it, they may not overturn it.
I agree. Here we go. Yep, foul ball. Well, it took a little bit, but Iglesias now will have to complete his at bat. He is not hit by the pitch as originally ruled. Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire. Getting the word from New York. One ball and 2 strikes on Iglesias. who now has to put the shin protector on again. 1 out, nobody on, just underway. We're in Houston today for the final game of the series. Tigers head to Chicago after the game tonight. Here's the 1-2. He'll get back out of play.
That Chicago Cubs team is red hot right now. They have won 9 games in a row. Looking for win number 10 today against Chris Sale of the White Sox.
We'll be happy to stop that streak if Sale can't. Again, the 1-2. Slow chop toward third. Going to have to hurry. Gonzalez, quick release, and it's unable to be scooped by Carter. And Iglesias safe at first base.
Iglesias really gets out of the batter's box in a hurry, especially when he's fooled on breaking balls and his momentum's already carrying him down the first baseline. And that's why Gonzalez, he rushes and he makes a poor throw, but it's also a ball that probably should be caught by Carter. Defense is not one of Carter's strengths.
So after all that, Iglesias ends up where he was, at first base. They're going to charge the air to the first baseman, Carter. E3. 1 on, 1 out. Here is Cabrera. He looks at ball 1. It's amazing what just the presence of Miguel Cabrera can do in the lineup. When you think back to the 11th inning last night, Iglesias had that little infield hit to get things started in the 11th. And then Cabrera took a walk. Just tell Neshek wanted no part of Miguel. And it really started a big inning.
Just keep the chain moving. Victor Martinez had been struggling with the bat, but Victor came up with a huge double to drive in Iglesias.
.349 batting average for Miguel. He'll take a strike. 1-1.
Before Miguel went down with the injury, he was killing the baseball during the daylight. A .410 batting average, 11 of his 15 home runs, and he had driven in 31 in day games. 11 of 15 home runs during the day.
We spent a good portion of the first half trying to figure those splits out. We never could. And Cabrera was also on his way to perhaps another batting title. Of course, he has dropped out of the race right now because of a lack of plate appearances.
He was in the MVP conversation as well, as he is every year.
3 batting titles. .410 in day games for Cabrera. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cabrera came back in game 1 in this series, went hitless.
That's the split change that Fiers will throw on occasion. That's when he does get the ball down, when he throws that pitch. But it's not like a splitter that tumbles. It's pretty much straight.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Miguel.
Conger, one of those guys, if you watch him when he sets up, he kind of ever so slightly turns his body. And if you're a catcher, if you can kind of turn your body a little bit, it really disguises the baseball well. You can frame some pitches, and every now and then you can steal a strike. And for your pitcher, take a look at Conger once he decides to set up. If he goes to the outside corner, how he just ever so slightly turns the body. Starting to see more and more catchers with this kind of approach. He learned under Mike Scioscia, though, right?
He did. He was a former #1 pick of the Angels and came up in their system. And if you're going to catch in the Angels organization and get to the big leagues, well, you're going to have a pretty good teacher waiting for you. Scioscia, one of the best defensive catchers, known for his blocking abilities. Of course, you can't do that anymore.
You were talking about Castro, the catcher who caught the first 2 games for the Astros, and his pitch framing ability. Conger's pretty good at that too.
The 3-2 with a runner going, and it's drilled in the air deep in the left field, way back, and this ball is up against the wall. Here comes Iglesias rounding third. They're going to send him home, and he will score. It's 1-0 Detroit. towering drive by Miguel Cabrera. He knocks in a first inning run.
Boy, is it good to have him back. That's a fastball upstairs, but Miggy able to climb the ladder with his hands and gets underneath it because he knew Fires was going up there and nearly hit it out. Iglesias running from first base, he was able to score, even though Conger, the catcher, was kind of deking Iglesias and pretty much blocking home plate with that left foot.
So the error turns out to be a rather sizable one, as Iglesias is able to reach and Miguel drives him home, and that'll bring up Victor Martinez. RBI 55 for Cabrera. And Victor looks at a strike 0-1.
It's one of the things that separates Miggy from most. There has been some guys in the league where Miggy knows he's going to get that fastball upstairs. Chris Young of the Kansas City Royals is one that comes to mind. He simply looks up there and able to get underneath that ball and still hit it as far as he's able to hit it. Most guys pop that pitch up.
Martinez fouls it off. 0-2. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. Victor 2 out of 9 in the series, batting .244. Back at his DH spot in this one here today. He played first base last night in place of Cabrera, and it was his first start at first base since September of last year. The knee surgery in the offseason has kept the Tigers from using him at first base this season up until last night. Here's the 0-2. Whistle foul, back out of play.
And it looks like Victor trying to shoot that hole on the left side of the infield that's been vacated by their shortstop Correa. He's on the right side of the infield along with Altuve and Chris Carter.
Tigers have a chance to drive in another here. They get on the board in the RBI double by Miguel Cabrera. And again, he shoots one the other way, but foul.
He's going to do it. He's going to hit one right through that hole. It's going to be tough for Dave Clark to score Miggy, though. We'll see. This is when your third base coaching position gets very tough. And you have a guy out there that's been hampered with an injury, and he's so valuable to your team. You can't run him into the catcher.
And again, the 0-2. Backed him out of it that time. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fire's first start as an Astro was against the A's. He held them to 1 run in 6 2/3. Received a no decision. But he's already given up a run here. And the 1-2. Another one the other way, but back out of play.
If you're Miguel at second base, though, because the shortstop Correa is playing way behind you, you can get an advantage by getting as much of a lead and a secondary lead as you possibly can, which might help you score on a base hit.
Victor repeatedly trying to go the other way here to drive in a run. Left side of the infield wide open. He'll take low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It'll get away from Conger, and Miguel is going to be able to stroll to third base.
Well, he's going to score easy now on a base hit.
Sloppy start for the Astros here in the first inning. Wild pitch.
And that's that split change that gets down and it trickles away from Conger. Actually, Conger kicked it into the right, and Miguel able to scoot over to third.
So the infield coming in now. And they'll play more of a straight-up defense on the infield with a runner at third. Here's the 2-2. Giving foul again, back out of play.
A couple of quality at-bats turned in by Cabrera and now Victor Martinez, but that's nothing new with these two guys. Making Fiers work hard.
He's already at 24. This will be 25 coming up. And he's retired only one batter. Inside, almost hit him as he spins him out of the box. 3-2 now on Martinez. JD waiting on deck.
Infield now in on the left side, and Correa now playing his regular shortstop position. Altuve and Carter on the right side of the infield. They're relaxed a little bit, knowing if they get a ground ball, more than likely Miggy's not going to try to score anyway, so they're giving themselves more room on the right side to make a play should Victor pull one in their direction.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Correa has it. He'll spin. Thought about coming home, but lost his balance. And Miguel will score to make it 2-0.
Miguel has great base running instincts, and that's one of the things that we've talked about regarding Miggy since he put on the Tigers uniform. He's not the fastest guy, but he has really good instincts. He was already told, you stay on the ground. But he noticed that that ball was up the middle, and it was going to be a tough play for Correa, the shortstop, to wheel and throw him out. So he got a good jump and was able to score.
So Cabrera making his presence felt early in this game. The RBI to Victor Martinez, his 51st of the year. 2-0 Detroit. And to bring up JD Martinez. He swings and misses 0-1. It's been a rough series for JD, just 1 for 8. He's had just 3 hits on the entire road trip. Fiers able to throw from the windup now with the bases empty. Ball low.
JD did have a very good at bat in last night's game. His final plate appearance of the evening, taking a base hit into right field, which was a good sign, and hopefully he'll take that same approach into today's game.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 now on JD Martinez.
Big, slow, loopy curveball thrown by Fiers.
Yeah, JD way out in front in that last swing. Martinez's last home run was August 7th at home against Boston. 2-2 the count. A 30-pitch inning now for Fiers here in the first. Tyler Collins waiting on deck. Bouncing ball right side. He'll find a hole right to the other side of the bag at second. They had him played to pull. It'll be a 2-out single.
Last 2 plate appearances, very positive ones for JD Martinez, simply taking that fastball that's up and not trying to do too much, and hit it right past the vacated position and where Altuve should have been.
It's the second hit in the inning for the Tigers. They've also taken advantage of an error. And this is a good sign for Detroit coming out swinging the bats here, considering on this road trip they're hitting just .203.
And especially with the Houston Astros struggling offensively in their last 11 contests, which they've dropped 8 of those.
Tigers have a chance to go up to 500 on this trip if they can get a win today, and having done so with really an offense that has been stymied for the most part. So Collins will bat now. And they'll play to pull on Tyler Collins. He drills one down the right field line. That ball is down. They're going to go to the wall. To third base Martinez. They're going to stop in there, and Collins will pull in with a double, and the Tigers are teeing off now on Fiers. Well, Collins wasted little time. He rifled one to right field.
Tyler Collins knows that about 95% of the time after the pitching coach makes a visit to the mound, that next pitch is going to be a fastball. And he got that fastball, and he didn't care where it was. And he was able to get up, and he hit an absolute seed down the right field line that did not get out as far as the ground rule double was concerned, but he's ended up with a stand-up double anyway.
Fourth of the year for Collins, and now here is Jeffrey Marte, the seventh man to bat in the inning. Tigers already have 2 runs on 3 hits. Marte at 271 since his call up from the minor leagues. That'll drop in for a strike. 0-1.
First start of the series for Marte in the last 8 games. He's been pretty good. That's why Brad Austin is trying to figure out where he can play him whenever he gets an opportunity to do so.
It's an all-star this year down at Toledo in the International League. He'll pull that one down the left field line. It's a foul ball. Well, Marte was just a tad out in front. And Fires is fooling very few people here in the first inning.
Especially with that fastball.
Cabrera hard hit ball. Martinez singled the other way. Collins a frozen rope to right. Well, this is good news. When the Tigers score first, they win 73% of their games. Way outside. 1-2.
And Fires originally drafted in the 22nd round by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2009. He played his college ball at Nova Southeastern University, where he was teammates with J.D. Martinez.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Nova was also the school attended by Ryan Castellanos, Tigers draft choice this year, and the brother of Nick Castellanos. So they've gotten some guys in pro ball. 1-2. And he got him strike 3. Marte caught looking to win the inning. The Tigers will strand it there. However, they scored 2, and Miguel Cabrera making his presence felt here today. An RBI double for Cabrera got the scoring off and rolling. The Tigers lead 2-0. First inning, Matt Boyd tuning up on the hill, presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Boyd is making his 5th start of the season. Comes in 1-3 with a 7.11 earned run average in the big leagues. But boy, was he having a tremendous season in the minors this year. He was 9-2 with a sub-2 ERA.
Here is the starting lineup for the Astros, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jose Altuve leads it off. He'll play second base, followed by Marwin Gonzalez and Carlos Correa, who's been on base a bunch in this series. Gaddis, Gomez, Rasmus, bottom three of Carter, Conger, and Jake Marisnick getting the start in right field today for the Astros. And Houston now will take their first swings of this game. Altuve in the series, 3 for 9. He has an RBI.
You got to locate early against the Houston Astros. They swing early, they swing often. As a matter of fact, no team in baseball swings as many first pitches as they do.
Altuve fouls off the first pitch, 0-1.
And Altuve leads the charge every night.
Jose didn't stick around long in the batter's box, does he?
No, he doesn't. And it really doesn't have to be a strike for him to barrel it up and to get a hit.
For as aggressive as he is, he doesn't strike out all that often. In fact, the second toughest guy to strike out in the American League, once every 10.5 at bats.
Whoa.
Or plate appearances. To be exact, that is drilled to center field to play of it. Anthony Gose laterally to his left, one gone.
Yeah, let's set the Tigers defensive alignment for you. It is presented by Beaumont Health, and more than likely the outfielders are going to be busy. Boyd's a fly ball pitcher. Martinez, Ghost, Collins in the outfield. Marte getting a start at third here this afternoon. Iglesias, Kinsler up the middle. Miggy on the corner. Alex is the catcher. 56 errors committed all season for the Tigers, which is the 4th fewest in the majors.
Here is Marwin Gonzalez. He's batting in the 2 slot in this one, playing third base. .263 batting average. Boyd delivers low, 1-0.
Boyd has a fastball that gets up to about 93 miles an hour. A lot of his fastballs are up in the strike zone, and it plays well for him because he fades that changeup down and away to the left-handers with regularity. It's a plus pitch for him.
Boyd is a native of Washington State, played his college ball at Oregon State University. He was a really good college pitcher. In fact, was drafted in the 13th round by Cincinnati after his junior year, but he decided to turn down pro ball, and he went back for his senior season at Oregon State and led them to the College World Series. And that's a strike in the outer edge. Gonzalez didn't like it. 1-2. Marwin, 2 out of 5 in the series, has an RBI.
That's a breaking ball there. Roundhouse. A breaking ball that must have just caught the outside corner.
Bouncer left side and through, a base hit just out of the reach of a diving Jeffrey Marte. Well, it's a 1-out single for Gonzalez.
It's a nice effort here by Marte, but not able to knock it down.
Carlos Correa steps in. It's our first look at the fine rookie of the Astros here in this series. He's been on base quite a few times. He's 2 out of 4, but he has 5 base on balls. .286 batting average, 14 home runs already this season after starting the year in the minor leagues.
He started the year in the minor leagues, and his ranks among all shortstops in the big leagues, he's in the top in several offensive categories. Several. And most, obviously, of those shortstops have been in the big leagues all year.
He has made up for lost time.
It's that talent, and he's got a lot of it.
He was a #1 selection, in fact, #1 overall by the Houston Astros, and that's why he wears the #1. And he says it's to remind himself that with being the #1 overall pick come a lot of expectations, and so you need to continue to work hard to meet those expectations.
It might not be long before he's wearing a C on his chest as the captain of the Astros.
Whistle foul, back out of play.
Good fastball there at 93, thrown by Boyd. In on the hands of Correa.
You don't see the captain C very often in baseball.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Used to have, Veritek?
Mike Sweeney had it in Kansas City. Jeter never had a C on his jersey, but they called him the captain.
Open in on Correa. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We'll see if he fades that changeup down and away, from Correa. And if he does, he needs to locate it, because we pointed out yesterday, Correa will take the base hit the opposite way.
1 on, 1 out. 2-0. Tigers have an early lead here in the first inning. Fouled away, just got a piece of it to stay alive.
They did go change up, but they didn't get it where they wanted to.
Well, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos. Two and 2 on Carlos Correa. Floats it outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Evan Gattis. He's batting cleanup today for the Astros. He's been bumped up in their lineup, the lefty on the mound. Miggy playing off the bag slightly there as Gonzalez gets back. This Astros team leads the American League in pitching, but when you talk about offense, .242 batting average as a club is dead last. And yet they're in first place in the West. And he lost him. That's another walk for Carlos Correa, his 6th in the series. 2 on now with 1 out.
We're going to make that our bell time pitch by pitch. It is not that often that you see a 20-year-old have the kind of eye that this guy has. Look at some of these pitches. They're not that far off the plate, but take a look at his setup. He's very quiet with the first step. Hands don't move a whole lot, which means the head stays still. And that's how you can take a really close pitch and get a walk in situations like this early in the game. And he got a good eye.
Pretty impressive. A couple of hits and 6 walks in this series. And now here is Evan Gattis. He'll take ball 1. Boyd, you might recall, gave up the early runs to Kansas City in his last start against the Royals, and then really settled in. They couldn't do a thing against him. A couple of good starts in his first 2 for Boyd.
Yeah, he ran up against Johnny Cueto that day, and Cueto was sensational.
Yeah, the 3 early runs was all she wrote. Checked it. I think he went. No, we did not, says Jim Wolf.
Yeah, that's about as far as you can go and not get a strike call. That's a swing.
Yep, sure is. Meanwhile, 2-0, which changes this at bat dramatically now for Gattis. Well ahead in the count. The 2-0 pitch. There's the strike, 2-1.
And Gattis sitting on something soft there. And usually when he finds himself in a 2-0 count, he's not getting fastballs, he's getting off-speed pitches. Therefore, he was sitting on something soft, and it's a nice call by Avila to throw the fastball there.
Gattis, good power. A lot has been made of all the triples he's had this year, 9 of them, but he can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Okay. He wouldn't do it again, would he?
Do it. Bring it.
Maybe just a tick higher. He might get a swing and miss.
Single and a walk here for the Astros in the first. After the Tigers got a pair in the top of the inning. Fouled away. 95 from Boyd. Who hails from Seattle, Washington, just 24 years old. The Tigers restocked their minor league system with good young talent in the Price deal along with Cespedes and Soria.
They got 2 left-handers in Norris and Boyd that can touch 95 and have real nice pitchability. and with your secondary stuff.
Another foul back out of play. So Gaddis making him work. And the next one will be 20 for Boyd. Minute Maid Park. We don't get to come here very often, just usually once a year, but very nice ballpark here. It opened up in 2000. The Astros used to play at the Astrodome, of course, for many years, 1965 to 1999. Bouncing ball third base side. Marte goes to second, and they'll get the out there, but that's it. Not a solid feed, therefore only one out.
Looked like for a moment there Marte was trying to decide on whether to come and touch the bag and then try to go to first base to complete the double play, but he elected to go to second base to get the force there.
That'll leave him at first and third. And the chance for Carlos Gomez, who has had a rocky series to say the least, 0 for 9.
He really hasn't performed well at all since they acquired him from the Milwaukee Brewers.
0 for 5 in yesterday's ball game. Got a chance here now with 2 outs. Runners at the corners. Missed it inside. 1-0. Gomez in his time with the Milwaukee Brewers really took flight in his career. He began his career with Minnesota, but once he joined the Brewers, he kind of came into his own. With the Astros this year, just 196 now. He popped him up, straight up. Boyd's going to pitch out of this jam. Iglesias with the catch in the side retired. No runs, a hit, a walk, and 2 men left. At Minute Maid Park, Mike Myers facing 7 batters in that first inning. He'll go up against Avila, Gose, and Kinsler now here in the second. Avila getting a chance to start here in this ball game today. McCann gets the day off, and Fires misses outside. 1-0. Alex 0 for 3 on the road trip. And only 1 start in his last 8 games, or the Tigers' last 8 games. One 0 is low. 2 balls, no strikes.
McCann, who gets the afternoon off. He made a great play last night on that pick at first base.
At a crucial time, too.
Strike called on Avila. Alex getting the lowdown on that last pitch from Doug Eddings. Thought might have been high. McCann, a well-deserved day of rest today.
Caught all 11 innings last night.
Swing and a miss.
Here's that play he made last night. Albuquerque uncorked the fastball that he was able to pick. Marisnik, who was on as a pinch runner, got too far out the bag, and McCann threw a seed down there that Victor was able to catch and apply the tag to Marisnik.
Here's the 2-2. Down he goes. Avila strikes out swinging, second strikeout of the game. We check in now with John Keating.
Mario, you just mentioned that Minute Maid Park opened in 2000, the same year as Comerica Park. And while Tiger Stadium is no more, the predecessor to Minute Maid Park, the Astrodome, is still hanging around barely. The latest plan for it is to make it an indoor park with biking and hiking trails and zip lines. And who would have guessed that the eighth wonder of the world would have zip lines within it at some point?
Well, you know, the Dome, Keats, was the first major venue in sports to have that artificial turf, which became known as AstroTurf.
AstroTurf. Back in 1965 did the Astrodome open, a long time ago.
Did you ever get a chance to go in that ballpark?
I did, and it was as dreadful as you can imagine it to be.
All right, Keats, thanks. The folks of Houston, thank you for that commentary.
Yes, they do.
1 ball, 1 strike.
His Twitter's going to blow up.
Anthony goes to the batter. I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. I had a chance to go see a couple of ball games in the 90s at the Astrodome.
They had some good teams in there.
Yeah, it was indoor baseball. That's in the air toward left center. And going to be caught by the center fielder, Gomez. 2 gone. That'll bring up Kinsler. This ballpark, though, much nicer here, Minute Maid. And, you know, when we talk about some of the nicer ballparks around the league, Minute Maid very rarely is brought up. But this is a place that's a neat place to watch a game. And certainly, I was talking to Dave Clark today, who used to coach here. It's a different ballpark with the roof open in terms of how the ball carries. But with the oppressive summer heat here, you really just can't do it.
Yeah, they probably can keep it open, maybe the first couple of months of the season, maybe the final month of the year.
Exactly. That's what Dave said. April, May, September. Another pop-up behind the plate. Conger discards the mask. Will not have room.
And Kinsler popped up his first plate appearance this afternoon to the third baseman on the fastball that was up in the strike zone.
But the trouble started after that pop-up in air. A double, ground out, scored a run. A wild pitch was mixed in there. Tigers actually had a chance to score more. They left runners at second and third. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rip foul. We're only in the second inning in this game. We've had some really hard hit balls in this contest, and a few of them fair.
How about Verlander down there sitting in the VIP section?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, well, Austin is there. His co-pilot Gino's down there.
Assistant manager Justin Verlander.
He pitched 7 scoreless last night, so he's sitting with the VIP.
He earned it. Third strikeout of the game for Fiers, and a 1-2-3 inning as we go to the bottom of the second in Houston.
Tigers are hitting, but when Boyd is on the mound, Jeff Jones just simply tells him to get out of the way.
Got pushed to the back of the car there.
Yeah, he did.
7 innings last night, 3 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts.
He was on point last night. He looked tremendous, really.
Yeah, his last 5 starts have been good. 1.75 ERA.
Can't get many wins, though, but you can't control that. All you can do is go out and pitch and give your team a legitimate chance to win, and Verlander did that last night.
You know, I often wonder about that, Rod. When you go out and throw a game like that, you know you're right. You can't control victories because that's dependent upon getting run support. And so are you good enough with the fact that you threw a pretty good game and upheld your end of it? Here's a towering drive to right field. To the track, to the wall, and gone. That's a home run for Colby Rasmus to lead off the second 2-1 ball game.
It's one of the things that we have well documented when we got here on Friday is the fact that they lead the world in home runs. No one has hit more than the Houston Astros. And Colby Rasmus, he was sitting on a fastball inside because Verlander threw him in there with regularity yesterday, and he pulled his hands in close enough to get to that one and hit it out. It's his 3rd home run this year against left-handed pitching.
16th of the season overall. 3 of 16 versus lefties. There's a ball outside to Carter. That's what the Astros do. They hit homers, and they hit a lot of them. They lead the major leagues in home runs. It's their 160th.
And Boyd understands that he is a fly ball pitcher, but he also said that when he's on top of his game, they're simply pop-ups. Not very deep to the outfield, but Rasmus caught up with that one.
2 balls, 1 strike on Chris Carter. 1 for 2 in the series with an RBI.
Nice adjustment made today, though, by Rasmus.
No doubt. And he's rewarded for it. Meanwhile, Carter ahead 3-1. Got to keep him in the ballpark as well. 17 homers. Fouled away 3-2.
If you pay close enough attention to how the starting pitcher on the start of a series on Friday night is pitching one individual, you can pretty much book it throughout the entire weekend, especially if that player is not having success. The other 2 starting pitchers are going to pitch that particular player the exact same way. They're going to follow that same blueprint.
Even if one is a righty and one is a left.
Absolutely. Same blueprint.
The walk to Carter, so the first 2 reach. 30 now for Matt Boyd.
And the book on Rasmus was to throw that fastball right at his hands.
Here's Hank Conger. Conger getting the start behind the plate today. Castro caught the first 2. It seems like everybody down this lineup for the Astros is a career high in homers. At least a few of the guys do. Conger is one of them. The 8 home runs this year, a career high. So there's something about coming to Houston here and just starting to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Altuve's got a career high. A few other guys as well. 0-1 on the former Angels catcher. Baldo. Conger, when he was a little guy playing Little League Baseball in Huntington Beach, California, led his team to nearly the Little League World Series. They fell 1 win short of winning the entire thing in Williamsport. Conger went on to become a first-round draft choice.
Little League World Series getting ready to kick off now, isn't it?
It is. That's outside. It's always cool because they'll walk into big league clubhouses and they'll have the Little League World Series on, glued to the TV.
And a lot of the guys are watching it too.
Two balls, 1 strike on Conger. Three and 1.
if you have any confidence whatsoever in your changeup right here, you may as well throw it, because you know that Conger's sitting on the fastball. And if you can get his bat out and make contact with it, you might get the ground ball. They're going to challenge him with a heater, though.
Nice pull down the third base line. Marte circling, can't get it.
That hit something?
Oh no, Jeffrey's looking up at the roof as if that ball hit the roof.
Because it just looked like it changed directions. Because Marte was headed in one direction, and then all of a sudden Marte changed directions.
But one guy that had a pretty good look is Keating. Keats, what happened down there?
Yeah, it hit the roof.
Did it?
Back to you, Mario.
Now, what's wrong with you, John? Because it's been a while since you've only used a couple of words.
I could go on in greater detail, but it hit the roof. Guys,
I defy you to find better reporting than that. Conger strikes out. Well, that we saw with our own eyes. One gone. And the first strikeout of the game for Boyd. That brings us to the Bernstein advantage with Jake Marisnick coming up. And he really has had no success against left-handed pitching. In fact, 0 for his last 19 against Marisnick. At only 156 against lefties this year.
Marisnick not really by himself. Their entire squad really struggles against left-handed pitching.
227 overall for the right fielder. Splintered bat rolls foul. We've seen a few of those in this series.
Yeah, he must have one of those bats that have the cup at the end, and you'll see this often when the ball's hit right up the end of the bat because of the cup. They'll simply splinter like that.
Leadoff home run by Rasmus. Walk to Carter. Conger has struck out. Marisnick can play all three of the outfield positions. They have him in right today. A couple of years as part of the Miami Marlins organization.
Yeah, they basically have three guys in their outfield that are center fielders.
Smothered, with Carter on his way to second base, slides in safely. He was lumbering down the line and he made it. Wild pitch.
It's a nice read here by Carter. Yeah, the ball is bounced. And once it gets away from Avila, he's able to restart the engine and get down to second.
Now Marisnick with an RBI opportunity. He's knocked in 21 this year. Bouncer right back to the mound. Look at that play by Boyd. A little backhanded play.
I see you, Mr. Boyd.
Now, did he know he actually was making that play, or did it just land in his glove?
We'll make sure we ask him after this game here today, but that's a nice play. He kind of falls off violently toward the third base side, which meant he wasn't in a position to field that ball in a more conventional way, so he simply stuck the glove down there, and the ball went right in the glove.
That's legit.
He looked like he did that on purpose.
That's legit. Good job. That'll keep Carter at second. Here's Altuve. Flat out to center field his first time up. 0 for 1 in this game for Altuve. Ground ball left side. Base hit. Here comes Carter. They're going to try and score. And nope. They're going to hold him up as Collins fires a one-hopper to home.
It's to the point now where you shouldn't even throw Jose Altuve a strike on the first pitch. And if it's not a strike, he's still going to swing at it because he's so aggressive.
It'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez.
That is now 703 hits for Jose Altuve since the beginning of the 2012 season. And no other player can boast having that many hits. He leads everyone.
Altuve last year had 225 hits, which eclipsed Craig Biggio's franchise record of 210.
He also has 31 steals, but this would be way too risky to try to steal second base with a runner already in scoring position and left-hander on the mound.
Verlander picked him off in last night's game.
Avila, since the beginning of the 2010 season, has caught 116 base runners trying to steal. That's the most in the big leagues. No one's thrown out more than Alex.
Ball low. Gonzalez had a single in the first. 3 hits in this series for Marlin. He also has a career high in homers with 7 this year.
They're probably going to end up with 10 or 11 guys with 10 or more homers this year. Told you last night, Tigers hold the record with 11 guys with 10 or more home runs set back in 2004.
Two and 0. Pretty good hitter waiting on deck in Carlos Correa, the number 3 hitter. But Gonzalez now is ahead in the count. Boyd is surrendered to Homer here in the second. Drilled toward the gap in left center field. That ball is down. It's going to go all the way to the wall. This is going to get 2 runs in. Gonzalez is on his way to third base, and he is going to be in with a triple. And the Astros have their first lead.
And Boyd fell behind Gonzalez 2 balls and no strikes, and he split the plate with a fastball that was down, that was ripped into the left center field gap. And once the ball got into the gap, as shallow as Ghost was playing, once Ghost was able to run it down, Gonzalez was rounding second, headed for third, and he drove in 2.
The Astros fight back from an early 2-0 deficit. They've taken the lead over the Tigers now, and here comes Correa. And as Marwin Gonzalez gets his first triple of the year. Correa walked in the first inning. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. 6 walks in the series for Carlos Correa, who is the youngest position player in the major leagues this year at the age of 20. Number 3 overall prospect in Major League Baseball entering this year. That'll bounce in. Avila saved a run there as he left the crouch. 1 ball, 1 strike. .22 in the first, 23 in the second.
Already 90 total pitches thrown by both of the starters here, and we haven't even completed the second inning.
Line up the middle into center. That's a base hit. That'll get another run in.
I see now why they've been walking him for the last 2 days.
And it's 3 straight hits now for the Astros, and they have extended their lead to 4-2.
Throw and duck.
.38th RBI of the year for Correa. Here is Evan Gattis, the 8th man to bat in the inning, and now Avila will make a trip out to the mound.
Yeah, this trip right here is one to get the bullpen up and to get somebody moving down there to buy a little time for that reliever that's up down there. Looks like it's who is that down there? Buck Farmer.
It is Buck Farmer. And if the Tigers have to go to the bullpen early, they want to get somebody up that can give them some length, and that would be Farmer.
I was trying to figure out who that was down there from my vantage point with my bad eyes.
You have no chance from up here. Bullpens are located in Galveston.
It's so much easier just to have the guys in the truck to take a shot.
Just take a shot, please. Help us out. Gaddis reaching on a fielder's choice in the first. There you go. There's your shot.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out.
Gaddis popped it up. First base side, Miggy to win the inning. But a big inning for Houston. They score 4 times. And you're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. At Minute Maid Park, Tigers got to get the bats going again now as Matt Boyd gave up a 4 spot. The inning started with a home run by Rasmus. Marwin Gonzalez, a big 2-run triple. Now Mike Fiers goes to work with the lead for the first time this afternoon. Iglesias will start things off for the Tigers. And Jose looks at ball 1 high. Iglesias, Cabrera, Martinez, 2, 3, and 4. They combined to do some damage in the first inning. Iglesias reaching on an error and scoring a run. Way high again from Fiers. The count is 2-0.
Yeah, nice visit here by Hank Conger, the veteran catcher of the Houston Astros. And he's out there telling Fiers, you got to figure it out. We just got you 4 runs now. You can't let them right back in the game.
Fiers had a 1-2-3 second. A couple of strikeouts involved. In his career, averaging a little over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's showing bunt, and that ball comes way inside. 3-0.
I was talking about this a little bit earlier regarding Fiers and the fact that the Houston Astros like the spin rate on his fastball. Were you aware of teams that like to rely heavily on statistical data that spin rate was part of a fastball or a breaking ball?
Until yesterday, I thought it was all breaking ball, and then I read an article on yesterday's starter. Was that Colin McHugh?
Yes.
Yeah, McHugh's spin rate. But they were talking about his spin rate on his fastball as well.
Right.
And I thought, well, I've never heard of that.
Well, because the guys throw about 89 to 91 miles an hour, but they get tons of strikeouts with their fastball. Because of the spin rate, they say that it looks a lot harder than it actually is.
Learn new things every day, I suppose.
A.J. Hinch, man, I wonder if he even watches the game sometimes with all that stuff in front of him, because every time they take a shot of him, he's looking down at some of those notes.
Here's Cabrera. And Fiers unable to throw a strike here. He's gone 1-0 on Miguel.
I mean, they're looking at notes after every pitch.
Miggy had a towering double in his first at bat down the, well, to left center. Actually, it was his 55th RBI. And he missed again. 2-0. 4-pitch walk to Iglesias. Now 2-0 on Cabrera.
If you weren't with us earlier, we told you that Miggy coming into this game a .410 batting average with 11 of his 15 home runs and 31 driven in have come during the daylight or during the day.
He missed again. That's 7 straight balls now for Fiers. Victor Martinez waiting on deck. 57 total for the Astros right-hander. There's a strike right down the middle of the plate. 3-1. Miggy taking all the way. Now he'll reset.
If you notice, Miguel Cabrera, the only player that's gone to the plate the last couple of days that they don't overshift on. And they don't overshift on Miggy because he hits the ball everywhere. Straight up, relatively at just about every position.
Well, Cabrera right now licking his chops on this 3-1 pitch. Instead, back to first, and Iglesias back in standing up. Jose with the leadoff walk. 3-1 on Cabrera. And another strike called as Miggy takes another one. 3-2.
If you're Brad Ausmus, you can put Iglesias on the move here, even though there's nobody out on this next pitch thrown by Fiers, which is the 3-2 count. Miggy very seldom strikes out. That way you can assure yourself of staying out of a double play should Miggy hit something on the ground.
Runner goes way outside, ball 4. That'll put 2 on now for Detroit. Back-to-back walks. It's time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag DetroitDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. It's going to bring Brent Strom out again. Their pitching coach has made a couple of visits to Fiers, who has walked 2 here in the third after his teammates gave him a 2-run lead. And he's got to deal with Victor Martinez coming up. .60 total now for Fiers. Finally, Strom will leave and head back to the bench. This is exactly what Brad Ausmus was talking about the other day, the lengthening of the Tigers lineup with Miguel Cabrera back. You got Victor, and then you got JD. See what Victor can do here. His ground ball produced a run. That was back in the first inning. They will shift against Martinez to the right side of the infield. Fiers missed 1-0.
And Tigers doing a very nice job here in the third frame of making sure they stay off that elevated fastball that Fiers likes to feature. That's where he lives, upstairs with that fastball. Gets lots of swings and misses. Gets lots of flyouts and pop-ups as well with that pitch.
So Josh Fields warming up in their bullpen. Each starter has had their difficulties today. way high, 2-0, and he just can't find home plate.
Well, if you're Conger, you may as well call for something else. I mean, whether it be the breaking ball or whether it be that split changeup, because he has no feel for that fastball right now. But you call one of those concentration pitches and you make Fiers concentrate a little bit more, maybe he can get the ball down.
This coming on the heels of a 1-2-3 second. The 2-0. 3-0 on Victor Martinez. And this has the makings of a big inning for the Tigers here if Fiers can't find home plate.
It would be risky, but I would not mind if Victor got a fastball and opened up those hips and turned on it if Fiers decides to throw one right down the middle.
Let's see if he does. And he'll catch the outside corner as strike 3-1.
It's just such a, I guess, a bad situation. The guys walk two, and if you do swing at that pitch and say you don't do what you want to do with it, everybody's going to complain that the fact that he walked two, why are you swinging at that pitch? But I would have had no problem with it whatsoever.
That one barely caught the strike zone. Here's the 3-1. Pulled foul. 3-2 now on Victor Martinez.
I mean, because if there was one time you knew you were going to get a fastball,
that was it.
100%. That was it.
But you're right. What if you pop it up?
Yeah, then everybody's, saying, why'd you swing at it?
Fiers had pretty good numbers with Milwaukee before coming over in the deal. His ERA was good, 3.89. He was 5-9 though. A lot of strikeouts, but his control has escaped him here in the third.
Well, you saw the base runner on the move when Miggy was up 3-2. I don't think they're going to move here.
They don't. Ground ball hit to the right side. Carter will charge it. Has only one play. That's the first.
Why wouldn't Carter go to second base? He must have difficulty throwing the baseball.
Second and third now, one out.
I mean, the way that Miguel is running, once this ball gets in Carter's glove, I don't even think Miggy's halfway to second base. All right, here we go. Why would he? I don't understand that. But the Tigers will take it.
And now they're a base hit away from tying the game. Here's J.D. Martinez. Swing and a miss, 0-1. I wonder if it was his momentum taking him to first and the amount of real estate he was going to have to throw. He may not have just had the confidence to make that throw.
That's a good point.
But you're right, it's not as if there was a fast runner there. And you had time to set yourself and make a good throw. The 0-1. Oh, JD just can't hold up 0-2. There are at-bats, or have been at-bats in this series, in which it just kind of looks like Martinez can't even pick up the baseball.
Indecisive. That last swing looked like to me. And you're absolutely right. He has swung at some breaking balls by Keuchel the other day. Also by McHugh in last night's game early. That were down that it appeared that he did not get a good look at.
Swing and a miss. Party there, and now Fiers has come back to get a ground out and strikeout. Two gone. Calling all Michigan State University alumni, students, and fans. Get a Tigers hat and Spartans green and a ticket to see the Tigers play the Rangers August 21st at 7:08 p.m. when you buy a special ticket package exclusively at tigers.com/MSU. So with 2 outs, here is Collins, who lined a double to right field on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. And he'll shoot that one back up the middle. Rather, that's Correa who has it. And the threat is over, and Fiers is, well, fired up that he was able to pitch out of that jam. No runs, 2 walks, 2 men left. Correa with a spin move up the middle for the final out.
this contest. Miguel Cabrera doubled and drove in Iglesias, who reached on an error. That was in the first, but the lead didn't last long for the Tigers. Kobe Rasmus with a solo shot off Matt Boyd. That's his third homer against a left-hander, and then a triple in the left center field by Marwin Gonzalez. Played it a couple of more, and now the score sits 4-2 in favor of the Astros.
And Houston coming to the plate here in the bottom of the third as Boyd will face Gomez, Rasmus, and Carter. 5, 6, and 7. And the first one is hit a mile high, straight up in the air. It'll be the second baseman. Kinsler makes the catch, and the tough series continues for Carlos Gomez. He is 0 for 11.
Even though Gomez missed that ball right there, and he basically popped it straight up, that was a much better swing than the swings that he had been taking in the first couple of games of the series. He might not be that far off from getting going. Let's hope the Tigers are out of town when he does get going.
Yeah, they can get going tomorrow. That'd be a good time. Here's Colby Rasmus. Home run to right field in his first at bat, his 16th of the year. First one is in for a strike on the inside part of the plate. Boyd facing 8 men in that 4-run second. The Tigers actually got the bullpen working. Buck Farmer started warming up. Ball low, 1-1. That's an even 50 now for Matt Boyd, 30 of which have been strikes. Rasmus takes high, 2-1 the count. Former #1 pick of the St. Louis Cardinals. In fact, his brother Corey Rasmus was also a first-round draft choice by the Atlanta Braves a few years back. Corey now pitching with the Angels. The 2-1. Driven high again. Deep in right field. He got him again. Oh. Colby Rasmus, his second home run of the game. A rainmaker to right.
Kobe Rasmus now has 17 home runs on the season, and 4 have come against left-handed pitching. It's a fastball at 92 miles an hour that he misses his location with, and Rasmus able to extend those arms, and he's got a lot of pop in that bat. And he finds the seats for the second time here this afternoon.
2 homers against a left-handed pitcher in this game. Homers numbers 16 and 17. It's a 5-2 Houston lead. Chris Carter, the batter. He'll take another strike, 0-2. Carter had a walk and a run scored back in the second.
What a difference a day makes. Last night's game, Rasmus got, at least 10 to 12 fastballs from Verlander, all of them right around 92 to 94. And he popped up all day, and he swung and missed all day. Today he gets 2 fastballs from Boyd at 92. Pretty much same location, and he finds the seats. But one of the things we were talking about with him last night, he backed off the plate a little bit. In his final plate appearance last night against Verlander, he backed up a little bit so the hands weren't so far over the plate, and he's carried that into today's game.
Here's the 2-2. Pulled to third base. Marte with the backhanded play. And his throw is up the line. Miggy with the tag.
Oh, that's a dangerous throw there. Anytime you have to reach into the baseline, especially with a guy like Carter running down the line, a guy that's as big and strong and physical as he is. And you could just tell Miggy hated to reach into that baseline after this throw tailed on Marte.
Marte even took that extra step knowing that Carter doesn't run well, and yet Miguel fortunately held on to the baseball and wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, he got in and got out.
Ball 1 to Hank Conger. Miggy flexing that left hand. The glove hand. Two 2-0 on Conger. Three and 0. 5 runs, 6 hits now for the Astros. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Tigers. Conger will take the 3-0. It's on the outside edge. 3-1. Five years as a member of the Angels, was traded to the Astros last November. Forming a tandem with Jason Castro here, the 2 catchers. Swing and a miss. He was out in front. Boyd thought he struck him out.
Yeah, you got to give him 3 strikes in this league, Matt.
He was starting his strikeout tour of the infield.
Oh, what's Brad going to do now? Did we miss something?
We didn't miss a pitch, did we? Boyd thought he had a strikeout. I think there was a question on the 3rd pitch whether or not it was a ball or a strike. And you could hear the home plate umpire, Doug Eddings, indicate or yell ball. Now the 3-2. And he lost him, ball 4. Time for a game break now. We check in with Matt Shepard. Yes, Shepard, it's hard to believe there is a team that has more home runs than the Blue Jays with all the homers they've hit this year.
And especially that park that the Blue Jays play in.
Here's Jake Marisnick. Runner goes. And Marisnick takes outside. Throw down to second. Going to be in plenty of time to cut down Conger. That'll end the inning. They get a run on the Rasmus homer. It's now 5-2.
Sleeping there, but Avila. He had a real nice exchange, and he threw the ball down to second. Tag applied by Ian Kinsler to throw out Hank Conger. That also was his first attempt of the year.
Didn't go so well, did it?
It did not.
Mike Fiers back to the mound after really struggling to throw strikes in the 3rd. He walked the first 2 batters, but pitched around it.
That is now 117 caught stealings for Avila since the beginning of the 2010 season, most of any catcher in the big leagues.
Pop up and it'll head back into the seats. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom three facing Fires here in the fourth. It'll be Marte, Avila, Ghosts. Jeffrey struck out in his first at bat. Just stopped the plate.
That was one fastball that Fires was able to get down today at 90 miles an hour. Fastball, splitter, curveball, cutter. And the four pitches featured by Mike Fires.
Here's the 1-2. Ball was up at the bill of his cap. Fires with 5 strikeouts.
Fires today threw 74 pitches. 70% of those pitches have been fastballs, and most of the fastballs have been up in the strike zone.
That was way up. Here's Alex Avila. They have the shift on for Avila to the right side. 0-1. Alex struck out to start the second. That was a 1-2-3 second for Fires. Pulled on the ground right into the shift and right at Altuve. And there are 2 gone now. A Saturday MLB returns to Fox Sports 1 with another doubleheader. The Giants look to improve their playoff chances. They take on the wild card leading Pirates, followed by the Rangers battling your Tigers. Coverage begins at 3:30 p.m. Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Ghost. Anthony fly to center field his first time up, and he misses inside. 1-0 on Ghost. Anthony on the road trip down 3 for 18. He was able to pick up a stolen base in yesterday's game, his 17th of the year. Ghost had what was looking like was going to be one of the bigger at-bats of the game when he walked with 2 outs in the 5th, stole a base and scored. That was the only run in the game until the Astros tied it up in the 9th. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
There's that split change. And that's a really good pitch for Fires. He throws it out of the same window as the fastball. But the velocity at 83 on that pitch.
Look out, that ball bounced in and drilled Conger. Should Ghost reach Kinsler, waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. Ghost sends a ground ball to first. Carter has it there. And Fires now has retired 6 in a row after the leadoff walks in the 3rd. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
First, and Brad Austin has said earlier today that really no discussions have taken place about how many players the Tigers will call up when that happens. But he noted that Mike Hessman, 37-year-old Mike Hessman, went 4 for 5 for the Mud Hens in last night's game. And you may know that earlier this season, Hessman set a record for the most homers ever by a minor league player. And Brad said, yeah, that might be one of the names that's in the discussion when the rosters expand September 1st. He added that guys like Mike Hessman are players you pull for because of what he's meant to the game of baseball and how much he is committed to hanging around in the game of baseball. Mario, Ron?
Yeah, Keith, that would be cool. I would love to see Hessman come up here in September, get again a taste of the big leagues. He's had a couple of cups of coffee in the major leagues, but I'm sure Brad would love to make that happen. We'll see if Hessman is a part of the September call.
Yeah, he's Crash Davis.
Well, if the Tigers somehow were in the hunt in the month of September, having a bat off the bench with a little power, the way that Hessman can hit the ball, might not be a bad option.
Here's Marisnik to lead it off here in the fourth.
Hessman had been in big leagues, what, about 5 years, though?
It's been a few years. Quick, name the guy that he passed as the home run king in the minor league.
Well, he was an old cat. I don't even remember his name.
He was an old cat, I'll give you that. His name was Buzz Arlette.
Yeah.
Not Buzz Lightyear, but Buzz Arlette. 0-2 the count on Marisnik. Altuve and then Gonzalez to follow here in the fourth. Here's the 0-2 from Boyd. Way outside to the backstop. Everybody all right back there?
And just a bit outside.
1-2. Marisnik is 0 for 1. He'll get back how to play. Recently snapped an 0 for 13 slump, did Marisnik.
He's also seen his playing time drop drastically with the addition of Carlos Gomez in center field, who they acquired from the Brewers at the trade deadline.
Ripped foul down the left field line. Preston Tucker played the first 2 games in the series, and Marisnik getting a start here today. 1-2. Astros, as we mentioned last night, still waiting for the return of George Springer, their young star player, who should be back in September at some point. Swing and a miss. Marisnik is out, 1 gone. That'll be a key piece for them down the stretch, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. He's a 5-tool player. He's an all-star in waiting, George Springer. There's nothing that he can't do. They're a much better team when he's playing.
Here's Altuve. All right, what are the odds here? He swings at the first pitch.
Well, if it's a strike, he's definitely going to swing at it. But how about Iglesias? Iglesias is playing him right in the hole there, at least to start. I think he was messing with Altuve there for a moment. Altuve gets so many hits, between the shortstop and the third baseman.
That was too far.
Yeah,
out.
he couldn't hit that. No. But he was ready to hit it, though.
Jose Altuve. Single, fly out. He has scored a run in this game. And he'll take another pitch. That one is in there for a strike. Altuve, not just a guy that has singles. We talk about the fact that he hit a long home run this year. Earlier this season, went 422 feet. Hit 47 doubles last year. There's another strike, and the count is 1-2. Fouled away. With all the hits that Altuve has put up this early in his big league career, many are talking about the fact that who knows, at some point down the line, if he stays healthy and plays a long time, he could catch Craig Biggio, who leads the Houston Astros over 3,000 hits in his career. And he was here yesterday for the celebration of the 05 championship team. Just stays alive there.
Yeah, Biggio spent about 20 years in the Astro uniform. The only uniform he wore.
Started his career as a catcher, then second base, then center field.
There he is.
Saw him down in the Tigers clubhouse today talking to his good friend and former teammates, Brad Ausmus, of course.
2-2 the count. There's the plaque for the 3,000 hits on June 28th of 07. Part of the Killer Bees here in Houston.
Yes, indeed.
To left field on the move. Collins would get there. 2 outs.
Killer Bees. Biggio, Bagwell, and Bell. Berkman. It was another one too, though.
There were 4 Killer Bees.
Yeah, out at the outfielder. I'm drawing a blank on his name, though. I believe last night was Bell. Have been difficult. I had it a minute ago. And here's the ranks for Biggio. Derek Bell, I believe
Derek
it was.
Bell,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, they have 4 Bs here.
All right. Ball 1 to Marwin Gonzalez. Biggio was in Brad's office yesterday as well, was chiding him a little bit, as former teammates often will. What, acting like the manager? Maybe a manager or something? As the media was filing, well, yes, I am. Is that Ausmus? Here's the 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Marwin Gonzalez, who's had a big game so far. E.J. Hinch put him in the 2 spot in the lineup today, and it's paid off. A single in the first and a 2-run triple in the second. Here's the 1-2. Roll toward third base, scooped up there by Marte. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Boyd, and 4 in the books here in Houston. Still 5-2 Astros. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here in Houston, it's 5-2 in favor of the Astros. Statue of Sam Houston. And the Tigers and Astros wrapping up this series. And there's a foul ball belted down the left field line by Kinsler. Ian, then Iglesias and Miguel Cabrera here in the top of the 5th. Tigers at 1 point led 2-0, and then 5 unanswered by the Astros. Kinsler pop-up strikeout. And he pulls that one right to third and right at Marwin Gonzalez. 1 out. So Ian now 0 for 3 today. Here's Iglesias, who's gotten it started a couple of times, reaching on an error and also reaching on a walk. Is there anybody on this team that has more energy than Jose Iglesias?
No, he's full of energy, and he loves to play the game, too.
I mean, at the hotel, on the bus, in the clubhouse. Always chattering, always moving. Even on the field, when he's between pitches, is always moving around in the infield.
It's good to be young.
That is. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Slice to right field. It's going to be caught, though, by Marisnik. 2 gone. Well, this Saturday, the Tigers play the Rangers. It's 7:08. Tigers are invited to stay, or Tiger fans are invited to stay after the game for a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit Tigers.com. Who knows, the Tigers might stay after as well.
Yeah, why not?
Great show. Now Cabrera, who's been on base twice, RBI double and a walk. Pulled on the ground to short. And scooped up there by Correa, who has plenty of time. That's going to be a snappy fifth for the right-hander fires. Tigers baseball from Houston today, presented by Bell Tire.
Player in the major leagues, but boy, does he have a lot of talent. Former #1 draft choice, and he burst on the scene this year, and really he has showed that he has tremendous athleticism at that shortstop position. He has a real nice throwing arm. He also has a lot of power in that bat. He's a really good-looking pro prospect.
Correa today with a walk and an RBI single. He has 3 hits now in this series and 6 walks.
Also a very bright guy, valedictorian in high school, grew up in Puerto Rico.
Ponce, Puerto Rico, which is the same hometown as the Alomars.
Okay.
And Mr. Correa, very familiar with the Alomars.
Played some winter ball.
Ponce?
And played for Ponce.
Nice.
1 year.
What was their nickname? Remember?
No, I don't remember. But Jose Cruz was on that team. That's where he was from. I played that year with Don Mattingly was on the same team that I played for. What a good team.
Now, how much time did you spend at the beach?
Well, we lived on the beach.
Oh.
Yeah, we lived on the beach. We just drove to Ponce every day.
Strikeout of Correa, 1 gone here in the 5th.
Good fastball right there by Boyd. Thrown right by the youngster Correa. Yeah, most guys, regardless of what team you play for in Puerto Rico, most guys live there on the beach. So, I mean, you had, 6 teams down there, and then tons of American players all lived at the high-rise, apartments or whatever right there on the beach. We'd all commute to the ballparks and whatnot. Some guys played right there in San Juan, so they didn't have to go very far.
Oh, yeah, on the nightlife of San Juan right there.
Yeah, didn't have to go very far, but Paul said a little ways out.
Evan Gattis, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Chop toward third base, foul. Puerto Rico is a beautiful island. They really revere Roberto Clemente there. In fact, one of the baseball stadiums there was named after him. Gorgeous place. 1-1 on Gattis. Boyd has kind of turned things around now. He's retired 4 straight. And then he missed outside with that one, 2-1. Gomez will be next. We're in the 5th inning, 5-2 in favor of the Astros as we wrap up this 3-game series. Big swing there by Gattis, 2-2. Gattis, as a member of the Atlanta Braves, hit a lot of home runs. In fact, in his 2 years, parts of 2 years with Atlanta, he hit a total of 43 homers. Here's the 2-2 from Boyd. Popped him up back out of play. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and Boyd now is on a bit of a roll. That's his 3rd strikeout in the last 2 innings.
It's a fastball up by Boyd, thrown right by Evan Gattis. Xfinity also tells us that the top fastball so far this afternoon thrown by Boyd has been clocked at 95 miles an hour. Just a couple of innings ago, he reached back to get 95.
Carlos Gomez 0 for 2, couple of pop-ups. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. And so Gomez now is 0 for 11 in the series. Way out in front that time. 0-2. Boyd gave up 4 in the second, then the home run to Rasmus in the third. A couple of long balls to Rasmus in this game. Ball high. Gomez, a 2-time All-Star, won a Gold Glove in 2013. 2-2. Rip foul right by Gary Pettis down the third base line. Somebody picked that. Oh, the glove. That's why. And there you go. Here's the 2-2. It's in the air toward left field. Collins says, I'll take it. He will, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Boyd. He's retired 6 in a row. 5 innings played here in Houston.
In the pregame conversations that Victor was having with members of the media, just as kind of a joke, he had Omar Vizquel translating from English into Spanish for him, and then postgame, after the Tigers did very well, he continued that trend and vowed that if they continued to do well, that was going to be the new normal. Well, the Tigers are going to have to rally to get back to having Victor speak in Spanish after today's game, but Brad Ausmus was asked how his Spanish is. Así, he said, which is so-so. And Rod, I know you speak lots of Spanish back in the day. Probably still do, right?
Muy poquito. Muy poquito.
Poquito, yeah.
Gracias, señor Keating.
Muy bien.
Oh, wow. It's pretty good for Keith right there.
All three of us.
Sixth inning on tap. Here's Victor, leads it off. And he takes the ball high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I didn't learn Spanish in high school. As a matter of fact, I didn't even take Spanish in high school. It wasn't required then. But I learned Spanish playing in Mexico in winter ball. Also played in summer ball 1 year down in Mexico, Dominican a couple of years, and also Puerto Rico. So that's where I learned the majority of my Spanish. And then you have teammates that are Hispanic, of course, and you're always trying to make them feel comfortable and have conversations with them. So that's the best way to learn.
I had 4 years of it in high school, 4 years of it in college, and I learned that really the only way you learn to speak it is by speaking it.
No question.
You know, instead of reading words out of a book and memorizing it. Victor has an RBI in this game. And he rips that one down the right field line. It's going to be a base hit. Good way to get it started here in the 6th, the leadoff single. Victor now 1 for 3. And we'll bring up J.D. Martinez.
A lot of pitches already thrown by Fiers here, and we're in the 6th inning. 90 total, 58 strikes, 32 balls. Got off to a really shaky start, gave up 2 runs in the 1st inning, but kind of settled in after that.
Well, before that single by Martinez, 9 straight retired by the right-hander. J.D. trying to do something now about a leadoff single.
J.D. going up against his former college teammate, Mike Fiers.
We'll hit this one high in the air down the right field line. Foul ground and caught by Marisnick.
We had a couple of former college teammates squaring off in this series. It was James McCann and Dallas Keuchel in the Friday night game here.
Yeah, they're Razorbacks.
Yep.
From Arkansas. J.D. Martinez and Mike Fiers from Nova Southeastern University, Florida. There's Tyler Collins. Strike 1 to Collins on the outer edge. Tyler hit one back up the middle right into the shift where the shortstop Correa was playing his last time up. Also has a double. Ball high, 1-1. Baltimore's putting a hurting on Oakland today. They lead 17-2.
You brought this up last night. Don't sleep on Baltimore. No, I mean, they're right there.
Good pickup by Conger, 2-1.
Oakland, for the most of the year, had the best pitching in the league.
There you go, 17-2, a 9-run fifth.
It's a crazy score yesterday. Didn't the Boston Red Sox score 22 yesterday?
They did. It was a wild one. 22-10. That was that Felix Hernandez game. Look at that dude.
Yeah, check him out.
Just waiting for the next score update. Ripped right into right field. That's a base hit. Collins, another hard hit ball. That'll put 2 men on. A couple of singles for the Tigers here in the 6th.
Ball drilled right over the head of Altuve, and apparently that's going to be it for Mike Fiers today.
So Fiers had retired 9 straight, then a single and another base hit here in the 6th. A.J. Hinch is out. And the signal has gone to the bullpen, so Fiers will come out of the game here in the 6th inning. He'll depart with 2 men on. Wallside windows pitching change here in Minute Maid Park. We'll be back. Big day, his 5th career multi-homer game. Couple of long balls against Matt Boyd. Cabrera 1 for 2 with an RBI double early in this game. He's also walked and scored a run. Now the Tigers will go to work against the bullpen here of the Astros with 2 on and 1 out. Mike Fiers done for the afternoon. He'll hope his bullpen can hold it. Here are the numbers on Fiers. Neither run that he gave up was earned. Josh Fields is on now for Houston.
Fields has got a big arm. You can see the fact that he's punched out 49 already this year in just 40 games, and he's walked only 15. The whip is under 1. He is averaging nearly 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. Fastball gets up in the 95-mile-per-hour range, and the league hitting under 200 against the Fields fastball.
Well, he's got 2 aboard here with 1 out. He's facing the number 7 hitter, Jeffrey Marte, who is 0 for 2. Pair of punch-outs against the starter Fiers. And Marte takes ball 1.
And Fields also has a changeup. Doesn't throw that very often, only about 5% of the time. He's got a slider and a curveball, but a heavy dose of fastballs, mostly cutters, about 70% of the time. And we told you they're in the mid-90s. And if you're Marte, you know you're going to get one right here.
Popped up and back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fields tossed a scoreless inning last night. He worked around 1 hit. He leads the Astros relief corps in strikeouts. 49 coming in. And he's at about 11 per 9 innings. Over 11 strikeouts per 9. This is a bullpen that A.J. Hinch has been able to count on most of the year. Swing and a miss.
Ooh, that's nasty.
What was that?
I don't even know. Take a look at it, though. Probably
Sure,
a changeup looked like.
Marte didn't even know.
Slider.
So it's 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Marte punches out for the 3rd time today. Fields gets his first strikeout.
He threw him the 1 fastball on the 1-0 count at about 94, and he fouled that one right back. And then he went after him with a couple of really, well-located sliders. Nice frame job there by Hank Conger, too. We told you earlier in the game that Astros catchers do a very nice job of stealing pitches every now and then.
Astros bullpen ranks have been awfully good this year. Opponents hitting just .203 against them. Here's Avila. Strike 1 to Avila. Alex is 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. 0 for 5 on the road trip for Avila. Now it's 0-2. Astros get 5 1/3 out of their starter, Mike Fiers, who had a rocky first and then walked the first 2 men in the third, but pitched around that and pretty much survived here today. Now it's up to his bullpen. Here's the 0-2. Filos swings and misses. Down he goes, and Fields comes out of the bullpen to fan a pair. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th in Houston.
Verlander was able to throw fastball after fastball by Colby Rasmus on the inside portion of that plate. Rasmus made an adjustment. He backed off the plate, and then today he's homered twice against Boyd on the exact same pitches. Last night, much different story. Verlander able to crowd him because he was over the dish, and then tonight he's able to get it done.
Well, Rasmus here in the 6th inning will see a different pitcher. Tigers have taken Boyd out of the game now. Buck Farmer, the right-hander, will check in. This will be the 7th appearance for Buck Farmer at the major league level. He was recalled from Toledo prior to the game on July the 27th against Tampa. So Rasmus leads it off, and Carter and Conger in there for a strike.
Yeah, good tailing fastball there thrown by Farmer at 92. Farmer can get up to 95. He also has a really good changeup. He's not afraid to throw his changeup to the right-handers. He threw it more often to the lefties. Still working on developing that really good breaking ball.
0-2. Farmer this year was 7-3 with a 4.15 ERA. That was in Toledo's 16 starts with the Mud Hens.
If you're Buck Farmer, you're auditioning for next year as well. It might not be in the starting rotation, but if you prove that you could pitch out of that bullpen and have some success, and when you go to spring training next year, that might be a viable option for you.
So important these final 6 weeks for a lot of these guys on this roster now. Talked about Tyler Collins, how important it is for him. It's slapped out of play.
Now, you can have some success in the big leagues with 2 pitches, 2 good pitches. Buck, as we mentioned, has a good fastball and a good changeup. But if you can add that 3rd pitch as a starter and command 3 pitches, then all of a sudden you turn into a pretty big winner in the big leagues with the 3 pitches.
Way outside, and the count now on Colby Rasmus is 2-2.
They're staying away from Colby. He's homered twice today to right field. Just about every pitch in this sequence has been away from Rasmus.
Here's the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss, and Rasmus finally goes down in this game. 1 out.
And Buck threw this fastball right by him. Had some late life on it, too. The 2 same fading action. And you see where they pitched him this time.
Away, away, away. Now Chris Carter. 0 for 1 with a walk. Swing and a miss. 0-1. 7 in a row retired now by Tigers pitching. Boyd retired the final 6 straight before leaving. Tigers pitching now with 4 strikeouts this afternoon. Ground ball slowly to the hole. Iglesias has time. Fires and gets him by a step. 2 gone. Time for a game break now. Matt Shepard. They ruin no-hitters all the time. And you don't need to be in Texas to hit a Texas leaguer, apparently.
And Shelby Miller's had a nice year. First tour of duty in Atlanta.
And Conger swings and misses. Conger, a switch hitter, batting lefty for the first time in this game. Season average at .235. That's outside.
Astros have 4 switch hitters on their 25-man roster. I think you're going to start to see more and more teams adopt the philosophy.
It's bounced to second. Easy play there for Kinsler.
I'll get to it after this inning is over.
Hold that thought. 1, 2, 3 inning. 9 straight retired by the Tigers staff now. It's still 5-2 Houston.
Go ahead. She's sitting right in Dad's lap, too.
As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Looked like she had your favorite flavor, too. Pink.
No.
Right?
Have we forgotten already? You're the one that rocks the pink.
We used to have some fun with that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. That kind of died over the years, though, didn't it?
And then we got a baseball team. That's right. And we had to start talking about cotton candy.
Man, in 2003, we were full of cotton candy
we
stores.
were snow cones and everything else.
Well, here we go in the 7th.
I was getting ready to say that it's looking more and more like teams are going to go to the extent of what Houston Astros are doing with all the data they compile. I know a lot of teams are doing it, but it seems like they do more than everybody else with all the shifts and, fastballs, talking about, spin rate and all that kind of stuff. I had never heard that before, but do you think more and more teams are going to go as heavy into it as they are because of the success they're having?
No question. I don't know if all the teams will be as heavy, because I think each team will try to decipher, where's the balance they want to strike here between, scouting and what you see on the field and the advanced analytics. But clearly, if you're not into advanced analytics these days, you will fall behind, because the game is evolving, and the Astros are one of the teams right now that kind of lead the pack.
And it appears to me that the teams that have smaller payrolls are the teams that rely on it a lot more.
Yep.
The Pittsburghs of the world, the Kansas City Royals of the world, the Houston Astros of the world, Tampa Bay Rays. Those are the teams that really don't go out and sign $20 million a year pitchers or players.
Well, Al Avila was quoted as saying that the Tigers are going to beef up their advanced statistics and becoming more of one of those teams where they rely on numbers a little bit more. Not totally, but a little more than they have in the past. Here's the 1-2 to Ghost, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chad Qualls, the new pitcher now for Houston.
They got a good bullpen. It's consistent bullpen. Guys like Qualls, guys like Gregerson. We just saw Fields. They come in and throw strikes.
Fields gave in a strikeout 2 with a couple of runners aboard in the 6th.
And made it look easy.
2-2 is fouled away as Ghost stays alive. Kinsler and then Iglesias to follow. Final game here. It's on to Chicago next. Tigers have yet another off day tomorrow, so they will be enjoying that off day in Chicago. Then they start up that 2-game set against the Cubbies.
They missed Jake Arrieta, though.
Ground ball back up the middle, base hit. Found a hole. Leadoff single for Ghost. First hit of the day for Anthony. Here's Kinsler. Yeah, the Tigers won't get Arrieta. They'll get Hamill in game 1, Lester in game 2.
Even though the Tigers are trailing by 3 runs here in the 7th inning, and you have, Miguel in the on-deck circle. Excuse me, Iglesias followed by Miguel. We told you earlier the Conger's only thrown out 1 of 27 this year. So if you're Ghost, you may as well steal a base and get yourself in a scoring position.
And there he goes. He's going to steal this one easily. That ball hopped into second base, a stolen base for Ghost.
You could see Ghost starting to inch his way off of the first base bag with the patterning of his feet as he tries to do so quite often. And then he finally, once the ball's delivered, he just gets that really good jump. And really, Conger had no chance at throwing him out. So Chevy high-strength steal.
18 steals now for Ghost. Bouncing ball to short. Ghost on his way to third will make it. Kinsler is out. One gone.
Updated numbers now on Conger. Now, I guess my next question is, since we're talking about the Astros and all their numbers, when you have a number like this where a guy's only thrown out 1 of 28, I mean, probably could find somebody else better, right? I mean, I'm thinking that. So maybe that's not
in this game or
on
period?
their team.
On the team.
But maybe that's not an important stat to them.
Apparently not. They picked up Conger from the Angels, and Castro is their lead guy, and we talked about his abilities behind the plate. The 3.5% is that's a detriment. Iglesias reaching on an air and walking. You're looking at a ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jose with 5 hits on this road trip. Talked about Altuve being one of the toughest to strike out in the American League. He's the 2nd toughest. I should say Iglesias is the 4th toughest to strike out. He puts the ball in play as he cuts and misses. That was nasty there. 1-2. Qualls has Cabrera waiting on deck. Runner at third, 1 out. 5-2 Astros as we play here in the 7th. And the 1-2. Fouled it back out of play. Michael Brantley, if you're wondering, is the toughest to strike out in the American League. Then Altuve. And Iglesias 4th. And again, the 1-2. Just got a piece of it. That's why Iggy is so tough to strike out. He just finds a way to spoil a pitch.
Yeah, really short and quick. And when he's in this situation, chokes up just a hair on the bat. Doesn't try to do too much. A ground ball anywhere in the infield will get the Tigers their 3rd run of the game.
Thought about it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Qualls replacing Fields, who came on in the 6th inning. Fires went 5 1/3 in this game for Houston. Here's the 2-2. Low. Oh, he called him out. What a late strike 3 called, and here comes Osmus to try and keep Iglesias in the game. That was an awkward strike 3 call.
That may be the first time I've seen Iglesias argue a call all year.
Brent Strom going to come on now to talk to Qualls as Miggy strolls in. Let's look at it again. Ooh, come on, that's low.
Goodness gracious.
And Iglesias had a beef, and I think that's why Doug Eddings was listening to him. It was a late called strike as well.
And it's a ball.
Well, Ian Kinsler screaming at Doug Eddings now.
And we apologize if you may have heard some language that you should not have heard. We're going to have to get the soap out for Ian, I guess. Wash his mouth out with some soap.
So here is Cabrera now with 2 outs and a runner at third. Miggy had an RBI double in his first at bat, and there's a strike called. Ian was not happy, to say the least.
Well, you're trying to get back in the game. Iglesias had a good at bat up there. He was seeing Qualls very well. You've got Miguel coming to the plate now. Could be a much different story.
Drilled to right field. Ball is hit well, and that one's going to go. It's out of here. An opposite field home run for Miguel.
It could be a tie game right now. How about his numbers during the day? I mean, we pointed it out earlier today. Miggy now with 12 of his 16 home runs during day games, and it's great to have the big fella back. I don't know what Brent Strom, the pitching coach, went out there to tell Qualls, but whatever he told him, it didn't work.
Not at all. I think he just flicked that ball into the seats.
He missed 33 games, did not go down to the minor leagues on a rehab assignment, and he's come back in this series with 4 hits, 2 singles, a double, and a homer in 3 ribbies.
And Iglesias the first to grade him. 1-run game now, 5-4. Homer number 16 for Miguel Cabrera. 3 RBIs in this game. It's a 1-run contest. Here is Victor Martinez. Ground ball to first. Right there is Carter, and that will end the inning. But the Tigers have climbed back into this one. Miguel Cabrera with a homer. 5-4 contest coming up, the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Miguel Cabrera has gotten him back with one mighty swing.
Looked like a fastball, tailing fastball that Qualls tried to catch the outside corner with, and Miguel hit a laser the opposite way for a 16th home run of the season. Man, is he good.
Well, no rehab assignment, is simply strolling back into the middle of the Tigers lineup, and, well, he's had himself a pretty good day. Doubled in a run in the first, 2-run shot in the 7th, 1,426 career RBI now, the most by a Venezuelan-born player.
How about that?
He is past Andres Galarraga.
He is a once-in-a-generation player, and you can pretty much say it and be honest with the fact that there's probably not going to be another Venezuelan-born player to catch Miggy in homers and RBIs ever.
Safe bet. With more on Miguel Cabrera, we check in with John Keating.
Well, day off tomorrow, and then, as you guys have talked about, we'll be at Wrigley Field for the next 2. There's one more interleague game as the Tigers have that makeup game in Cincinnati, and of course in those games they'll lose one of their better hitters, either Miguel Cabrera or Victor Martinez, since there's no DH. Brad Austin was saying earlier today his plan is that Miguel will play in both those games. That will take Bmart out of the lineup, you would think, but of course that depends on how the calf strain recovers after a day off tomorrow. But if he's just trotting around the bases, he looks just fine, right?
He does indeed. And boy, the dreaded interleague play in National League parks where it just kills the DH, and well, it hampers the Tigers offensively.
Yes, it does.
Well, it's a 1-run game now. Here come the Astros in the bottom of the 7th. Jake Marisnik will lead it off. Romine now is taken over at second base.
Kinsler get kicked out of the game?
He must have. It certainly wouldn't take him out of this game. It's fouled straight back by Marisnick. So they must have tossed him before Ian went off on home plate umpire Doug Eddings.
So we're going to have to wash his mouth out with soap, and he got a timeout.
A rough day. That dart's low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, that could be a sizable ejection if in case that was the case, because the Tigers now down by 1. Pretty good offensive player has been lost for the Tigers. Marisnick is 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. Altuve to follow, then Marwin Gonzalez. With Farmer back out there for his 2nd inning of work after a 1-2-3 6th. Sliced and caught right by the new guy, Romine.
Had him played perfectly.
Here is Altuve now with 1 out. Single and 3 at bats for Altuve. .299 average. Altuve had a base hit as part of that big 2nd inning, that 4-run second. We'll try that one foul. More action in the bullpen for Houston. Harris, the right-hander, is heating up. We haven't seen him yet in this series. We're about to. 0-2. Farmer's 0-2. That's a base hit to left for Altuve.
He can hit everything. Literally everything. I don't even think this is a strike. It's up and it's in and it's off the plate, and somehow Altuve climbs the ladder and hits a frozen rope in the left field.
It's another multi-hit game for Altuve.
Avila needs to get ready to throw too, because Altuve is going to be on the move.
31 stolen bases for Altuve. 216 multi-hit games. So Farmer now will have to keep Altuve close. Will hold the baseball here as long as he can, and now step off. Critical run right there at first base, so Farmer doing all he can. Gonzalez in the game, 2 out of 3, had a big 2-run triple in the 2nd. Ball 1 to Gonzalez. Base hit was the 7th hit of the game for the Astros. Both teams now with 7 hits. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. Correa on deck, and then it would be Gaddis. Tigers have the bullpen working right now. It has been just Boyd and Farmer in this game so far. Altuve draws the throw.
You weren't with us on Friday night. We told you that when the Tigers came here last year to play against the Astros, Altuve wanted to take a picture with his idol, Miguel Cabrera. Absolutely loves Miggy, as do most young Venezuelan players.
way outside. Now the count goes to 3-0.
And they have a lot of fun when ever they're at first base together. Altuve doesn't want to steal. He wants to stay there and talk to Mickey.
Exactly. Feel free. And a strike called on the inside part of the plate, and now 3-1. Marwin Gonzalez. Astros led 5-2 before the Cabrera 2-run homer in the 7th. Farmers sizing up a 3-1 offering. Walking. And he'll put 2 men on.
Here's an example of the fun that Miguel and Altuve have when they're over at first base. Mickey pulled his shirt out. Now watch Altuve.
That's playing with fire right there.
These are grown men.
Yeah, they are. Here's that's going to be it for Buck Farmer. Is Brad making the extremely slow walk out to the mound. Tigers had some action in their bullpen. Carlos Correa is the hitter coming up, and that's Albuquerque. See if they want him. Brad taking all the time that home plate umpire Doug Eddings will give him. Eddings now coming out. And now he'll make the call to the bullpen. You can tell by that extremely slow walk, Brad was trying to buy as much time as humanly possible. So Farmer is out. Albuquerque is in. It's a pitching change here in Houston. We'll be back. One out, and they've got Correa coming up against Albuquerque.
Albuquerque has been outstanding for a couple of months now. He's pitching his 53rd game. The ERA is under 3, sits at 2.86. He strikes out nearly a batter an outing, and that's exactly what Brad wants here of Correa. He wants a strikeout.
Correa single walk RBI in this game, struck out in his last at bat. Bouncing ball back to the mound. Albuquerque throws to second wide, but it's going to be in time for a double play.
What a nice flip by Iglesias. Was not a good feed by Albuquerque, but somehow, some way, Iglesias still able to complete the play.
One pitch, threat is over. With a 1-6-3, we go to the 8th. In 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment. At any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat on your smartphone or your tablet. Tigers go to work here in the 8th against a new Houston pitcher. Ice cream and a helmet. Can't be beat. Here is Will Harris. He will come in.
Harris has a fastball that tops out at about 93 miles an hour. He throws it about 82% of the time. He also has a curveball, also has a changeup. Does not use the changeup very often. Mostly cutters, fastballs, and breaking balls.
J.D. Martinez, Tyler Collins, Jeffrey Marte. Facing the right-hander, Will Harris. Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes on J.D. Martinez today is single in 3 at-bats. That'll get back out of play. 2-1. Tigers got to Qualls in the 7th on the 2-run homer by Cabrera. Harris has limited opponents to a 167 batting average, 3rd lowest. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on J.D. Martinez. Little chopper slowly toward third base. Going to be a tough play. Gonzalez throw it away into the seats. And that'll put the runner at second base. Huge play.
Huge break as well for Detroit.
Single and an error.
And do-or-die play here for Gonzalez. He comes up. He has to hurry because JD's getting down the line. He throws the ball right at the baseline. And Carter, the first baseman, wisely did not reach into the baseline. That could have been scary had he tried to catch that ball.
So the tying run in scoring position now, nobody out, and Tyler Collins will step in. Ball 1 to Collins.
If you're Collins in this particular situation, you want to hit one right into their defense. They've got 3 men on the right side of the infield, but that doesn't matter. That's exactly what you want to do. You got to get JD over to third base.
That's what he'll do, but he'll get it through. Martinez coming to third. They're going to send him home. JD will score. It's an RBI hit for Collins, and it's a 5-5 game. The big error by the Astros here in the 8th, and we are tied.
This is a really good at-bat by Collins. Even though there was only one player on the left side of the infield, he knew he had a job to do. He took that fastball that was away, and he got around it, and he hit the ball to the right side of the infield, past Correa, past Altuve to drive in JD.
So the Tigers come back from down 5-2 in this game. They've tied it up.
Well, you may as well try to steal another base here on Conger. We well documented the fact that he does not throw well.
Still nobody out. Here is Marte. Fouled back 0-1. Tigers have 9 hits now. Oh, 2. Marte has struck out 3 times in this game. working on J.D. Martinez. Not sure what they're looking at. Here's the 1-2. Collins thought about moving up, thought better of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him, strike 3, and that is not a good day for Marte. He has fanned 4 times. 1 out here in the 8th. First strikeout for Harris, and that'll bring up Alex Avila. It's a pretty good bullpen the Tigers have come back against today. The 2-run shot by Cabrera in the 7th off Qualls. Now a run here against Harris. And Avila looks at strike 1. Alex in this game 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, one of the reasons why Collins hasn't taken off for second base as of yet, even though Conger has poor throwing numbers, is Harris is under 1 getting the ball to home plate with his slide step. And even though Conger doesn't throw well, it may be too risky for Collins to try to force the issue.
One ball, 1 strike. Harris coming into this game had allowed just 29 hits and almost 50 innings of work, and he gave up back-to-back hits here in the 8th, although one was of the infield variety.
And 2 errors in the game today by the Houston Astros defense. Both of those errors very costly. Iglesias reached on an error in the 1st inning as we could look at J.D. Martinez walking in the dugout. And after the Iglesias error, Miguel Cabrera doubled to drive him in. Walking wounded down there.
Yeah. A mash unit going on. Miggy taking it easy.
Day off will be good for Miguel.
The 2-1 down the left field line, slicing though. Back into the seats. 2-2 on Avila. Anthony Gose waiting on deck. Tigers with 3 late runs in this game to tie it up. We're in the 8th. Just got a piece, and Avila stays alive. Tigers got 2 early runs and then fell behind 5-2. They couldn't do much against Flyers after the 1st inning. But they've gotten after it here against a pretty good bullpen for the Astros.
And they also got to that Astros bullpen in last night's game.
Again, the 2-2. Missed inside. 3-2 now on Avila.
Decision time now for Brad. And 3-2, 1 out. Does he start Collins here? I'd start him.
Runner holding, swing and a miss. So Collins wasn't going. Avila strikes out. Second of the inning now for Harris. 2 gone. Saturday, Major League Baseball returns to Fox Sports 1 with another doubleheader. The Giants look to improve their playoff chances. They take on the wild card leading Pirates, followed by the Rangers battling the Tigers. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So with 2 outs, here is Gose. Runner goes now, and it's fouled down the left field line. Oh and 1. Gose had a single, a steal, and scored a run. He came around on the homer by Miggy with 2 outs. Last half inning. Well, they continue to look at J.D. Martinez.
Yeah, Matt Rankin, one of the Tigers trainers down there, he was motioning with his hand, kind of pushing down to indicate that the issue with J.D. Martinez might be with the heel as he landed on the bag when he got that infield single.
Oh and 1 on Gose. Collins the go-ahead run at first base. Goes broken bat. Now it's 0 and 2. Here's the 0-2 with a runner going, swing and a miss. Gose chased one out of the strike zone, and Harris strikes out the side, but not after giving up the tying run. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Brand new ball game now, 5-5. Tied it up, and the Astros have Gaddis, Gomez, and Rasmus here in the 8th, facing Al Albuquerque, who came on and threw one pitch and got a double play. In the 7th, it turned out to be huge, and he throws strike 1 to Gaddis. 0 for 3 today for Evan Gaddis. 5 runs on 9 hits for the Tigers, 5 runs, 7 hits for the Astros. Swing and a miss, and now 0-2 on Gaddis. These are the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Houston. Gaddis rolls one foul.
If you're going to throw Gaddis that slider, if you're Albuquerque, you need to make sure you bury that pitch down and away from Gaddis. You don't want to hang it. He's dangerous. He's got a lot of power.
Al took over for Farmer in the 7th. Outside, 1-2. More action in the Tigers' pen. Gorsalani, the lefty. Wilson, the righty. Soft line drive. Caught at second base by Romine. 1 out.
Here's the 1-800 call. Sam call of the game. Brad took a stroll out to the mound. Albuquerque thought he was coming in, but he wasn't. And then he walked back inside. And then he came back out. And then he threw one pitch, got a double play ball, and a really athletic play by the shortstop, Iglesias. Sort of poor feed by Albuquerque to get out of that jam. He got to wait for the signal.
Albuquerque. 1 away here in the 8th. Here is Carlos Gomez. Chopper back up the middle. Iglesias has it there. And that is out number 2. So Carlos Gomez is 0 for 4 in this game and now 0 for 13 in the series. Whew. That'll put a dent into your batting average. That's going to be it with Rasmus due up. Albuquerque going to come out of this game. They're going to want the lefty Gorsalani to face Colby Rasmus. He gets all 3 men he faces. To the bullpen go the Tigers. We'll be back.
Homered in the 2nd inning. That came off Matt Boyd on the fastball that was inside at about 92 miles an hour. And then he got Boyd again later in this contest for his 2nd homer of the game. That came in the 3rd inning. 17 homers this year for Rasmus. 4 of those against left-handed pitching.
So Rasmus will face Tom Gorsalani, who is out of the Tigers bullpen.
Yeah, some of you may be wondering why no Blaine Hardy in this particular situation, because Hardy has been so good this year against left-handers and right-handers. But Gorsalani in his career has kept Rasmus in check. Rasmus is 0 for 6 in his career against Gorsalani. So Brad simply going with the numbers.
And Rasmus looks at ball one.
And Rasmus hasn't seen this version of Gorzelani. I mean, Gorzelani has made an adjustment in his delivery. He now throws from a low 3/4 arm slot, almost sidearm. So this is a different look for Rasmus.
2 balls, no strikes.
Hopefully the results stay the same.
4 strikeouts among the 0 for 6. It's gone 3-0 now on Rasmus. Carter waiting on deck.
Well, this is going to be the only batter that Gorzelani sees.
Wilson would come in to face the slugging Carter, should Rasmus reach. High fly ball. The green lighted on 3-0, and they're going to get him, it appears. Iglesias goes out to make the play. 1-2-3 inning for the Astros in the 8th. We go to the 9th here in Houston, still tied at 5. I do too. It's going to be Romine to lead things off as we go to the 9th inning. Romine, Iglesias, Cabrera, and Harris still out there. We'll see if the Tigers can scratch in a run or two. Romine taking over for Kinsler, getting his first at bat. Andrew looks at a strike and the count goes 1-1. Top 3 in the Tigers lineup here as Harris struck out the side in the 8th but gave up a run, the tying run. That'll miss inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. 5-9-0 for the Tigers. 5-7-2. 2 big errors for the Astros. In there, a strike call. 2-2 on Romine. Romine swings and strikes out, and that is 4 straight strikeouts now for Harris.
Harris is legit. And we told you he had the fastball that was right around 93, 94 miles an hour. It looks like he uses it up at the strike zone to get lots of swings and misses. Also throws a changeup, but does not throw that very often. But he does throw a slider.
Here's Iglesias, who struck out in his last at bat on a very questionable call. But it was followed up by a 2-run shot by Miguel Cabrera. Fouled back 0-1.
Well, Miggy's probably taking his last swings of the afternoon. They're not going to let him beat them today. And if they do, shame on them.
Miggy lurking on deck.
He might as well just stroll on down to first.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Iglesias. Tigers came in batting just .203 on this road trip. They have 9 hits today, though. Soft ground ball to short. Correa will charge. Quick release is in time, and Iglesias is out 2 away.
Well, here's why Miguel might not get an opportunity to swing the bat in this particular situation. Chad Qualls was on in the 7th, and Miggy got a fastball that was maybe 2 inches off the plate. Perfect swing, perfect setup, perfect weight distribution. The result, his 16th homer of the year.
Cabrera with 3 RBIs. He also had an RBI double in the first. And he looks at strike 1. .352 average now for Cabrera. 57 RBIs.
And his numbers during the day just continue to go up. He came in hitting .410 in day games.
Now it's 0-2. Well, they're going after him here in the 9th inning.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah, Martinez waiting on deck. Now Harris trying to win this 9th inning. Ball high, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2 on Miguel.
It's a great take right there by Miggy. That breaking ball looked good all the way until that ball just dropped on top of home plate, and yet Miggy was able to lay off of it.
Rondon heating up in the Detroit bullpen. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a foul. Just got a piece of it.
And Miggy nodding out to Harris. Good pitch. It's a good breaking ball here by Harris, and Miggy, he'll acknowledge you when you throw him a good pitch. Looks out at Harris. Okay, little nod, little smile,
and a wow.
Yeah.
He lost in ball 4. So Cabrera will take his walk.
As you can imagine, when you have the best hitter in the world on your team, when you lose him for the 37 games the Tigers lost him for this year, everything's going to be down. Winning percentage is down, batting average down, on-base percentage down, and also runs per game down without their feared slugger.
Well, he's standing at first base now with 2 outs, and Martinez will stand in. He's the go-ahead run, Miguel. Victor has an RBI. He does have 1 hit today.
Did you see me here practicing a little bit early today with the illustrator? I didn't work on my circles, but I worked on my checks.
Yeah, you were here at 7 a.m. this morning.
Well, you told me I had to get here and work on it.
And you did. And I walked in the booth, and there you were, bright and early, getting your reps in. You think they bought it?
I think some may have.
Victor batting .244. He's knocked in 51. An opportunity here with 2 outs in the 9th. Popped up foul, back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. The one downside here with Cabrera at first base is his running ability not all that good right now. So Martinez is going to have to find a deep gap. Outfield playing back against Victor.
And the last thing you want to do if you're Brad is to take Miggy out of the game for a pinch runner in a tie game.
So you might as well just hit it into the seats.
Astros outfielders playing very deep at their respective positions. No doubles depth is the way the outfield is playing.
Swing and a miss, and struck him out.
Harris is legit.
He is legit, all right. 5 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. And we will go to the bottom of the 9th in Houston. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time coming to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. And buying wall-side windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here in Houston as we go to the bottom of the 9th in a 5-5 game.
Well, Brad Ausmus was faced with a very tough decision before this inning. And does he go to Rondon knowing that Preston Tucker would trot off that bench for the Houston Astros, or does he simply let Gorzolani go after Carter? And you see which one he chose.
Carter, Conger, Marisnik do the bottom 3 for the Astros.
And Tucker with a lot of power. Carter has a lot of power too, but Tucker swinging the bat very well in the series.
1 ball, 1 strike on Chris Carter. 37 home runs last year. He has 17 this year. Tucker hit the home run against Rondon in the 9th inning last night.
Oh, there's no doubt he would have pinch hit for Carter if Rondon would have come in.
Strike called, and it's 1-2. They play Carter to pull. Outside, even the count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wilson still throwing in the Tigers bullpen. Bottom 3 up here in the 9th inning for Houston.
Yeah, Bruce Rondon was up.
Now the count has gone full 3-2. Conger on deck. fairly deep, but Ghost is back there, edge of the warning track. 1 out. That'll bring up Conger. Conger's had a walk today, but otherwise 0 for 2. Tigers tied this game up with 3 late runs, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, after falling behind 5-2. Conger sends a ground ball up the middle, right into the shift. Romine has it. 2 gone. It's a 4-3 ground out. Now Marisnik. Zalani has retired all 3 that he has faced. Came on to face the lefty Rasmus in the 8th, fell behind 3-0, and Colby was swinging on 3-0 and popped up. Now 2 outs here in the 9th. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers have an opportunity to win 2 out of 3 here in Houston, bring their record to 500 on the road trip, with 2 more looming in Chicago. Tigers trying to get to 3 under overall. Checked it. 2-1.
It's a long look in by Gorzolani. He thought that pitch was a strike. But Doug Eddings did not go up with the right arm.
That's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Boyd started the game, went 5, gave way to Farmer in the 6th. Albuquerque came on in the 7th. Gorzolani in the 8th. Fouled away 3-2 now on Marisnik.
Everything he's thrown to Marisnik has been outside and 2-seam fastball. It appears that to Gorzolani, with the adjustment with the arm angle and dropping down to a slightly side arm angle, getting more depth, more sink on its fastballs down and away from the right-handers. Now they're going to go in.
Driven in the air to center field. Ghost on the run, still going back. He looks up. And that ball is off the wall. On his way to third, and diving in with a triple is Marisnik.
I don't know why in the world they decided to go inside after having so much success throwing balls away from Marisnik. He didn't quite get it in, and Marisnik nearly ended this game. And they were looking to get inside, and the ball did not make it inside. Marisnik reached out there and was able to drive that ball over the head of Ghost and nearly hit it out. That may have been a ball, actually.
Yeah, it looked like it was.
You can see where all 6 pitches ended up. But Avila was set up inside on that 6th pitch.
It's going to be it for Gorzolani. Tigers back to the bullpen. Will return to Houston. chase the triple by Marisnick. And Wilson coming out to face Altuve.
They can't be pitching to Altuve here, can they? 2 outs, runner on third.
I'd really be surprised.
I mean, no one in baseball has more hits than this guy since the beginning of the 2012 season. And you have Gonzalez in the on-deck circle, who's hitting only .246 against right-handed pitching. And this guy can hit a bad ball. So if you're thinking that you're going to walk him by throwing something bad, he might put it in play.
Shooting the left center field. That ball is going to get down, and the Astros will win.
I'm shocked.
I'm with you there.
I'm shocked, man.
And here they come storming on the field to chase the diminutive Altuve to the outfield grass. First pitch swinging, he ends it with a drive to left center. Jose Altuve, his third hit of the game. And that one was a game winner. They'll toss him around like a rag doll right now.